Good morning, this is Lars, a Lofty Loftstrand, coming to you live from Cadillac Confidential. My posts today, my thoughts today are entitled, Everyone's a Hero. Now, why have I entitled it that? I was just talking to a friend of mine and I was thinking about it, Gary Vee, and this is a shout out to Gary Vee. I love the guy to bits. I love some of the stuff he does. He's a great entrepreneur. I love the content he produces. But Gary has literally screwed up the world. And why has he screwed up the world? He's screwed up the world because everybody now and their dog thinks they're an entrepreneur. So, I watch people's stories and I get to speak to people all day in the business on it. Now, I'm going to tell you something, and I'm telling you this not because I'm trying to impress you, but I'm trying to impress upon you what I've learned in the, how many years? 35 odd years that I've been an entrepreneur. I think I've owned and run 23 different companies. Now, as I said, I don't share that to impress, but to impress upon you, that's what an entrepreneur is. Somebody who's actually owned a business. I watch people's posts on social media and how they're an entrepreneur and they've got themselves listed as an entrepreneur. And then I see they're like 25 years old and they're in a job. They work for somebody. Now, you may have an entrepreneurial spirit, but you're not a fucking entrepreneur if you've never owned a business. And going to college and school and learning about being an entrepreneur does not make you an entrepreneur. Being an entrepreneur in the trenches makes you an entrepreneur. In fact, the shit they teach you, and excuse my language today, but I think this is comical. The shit they teach you at school about being an entrepreneur has almost zero to do with being an entrepreneur. Now, I know there's some entrepreneurs out there that are digging what I'm saying right now because they're in the trenches, they're going through shit, they don't have the helicopter, they don't have the fucking cars and all the stuff that they portray an entrepreneur to be. Because being an entrepreneur, people, is hard. It's hard work. It's late nights. It's eating cereal. It's not having food to put on the table. It's not seeing your kids. It's not seeing your wife, your loved ones. It's hard. It's not what it's cut out to be. But is it worth it? Yes, it's worth it. Because one thing you do control, and it's probably the most precious resource we have, is time. So, Mom, I apologize up front for the language today. I didn't get much sleep last night. I've been working on content, putting content together and filming. In fact, I'm on my way to film some more content for a video series we're putting together called The Rewire Method, which is going to teach you how to be an entrepreneur, which is going to teach you how to be a better person, whether it's a better person individually, in sales, or in leadership, because those are the three things that we do. So if you're interested in what it is that we're doing, if you're truly interested in being an entrepreneur, not just talking about it, not just learning about it at some school or reading some book or listening to some podcast, DM me, send me a message, let's talk. In fact, we can even partner together on certain things. I've partnered with a lot of people in businesses. I've got my mojo back. I've been sick for a while and been a little bit down. That's all part of being an entrepreneur too. It's not always being on top of your game. It's lonely. It's a lonely place. You've got to act as if you're successful 24/7 because people don't want you to have weaknesses. People don't want you to have shortfalls. But I can tell you something, being an entrepreneur is hard, but it's worth it. So to all those book smarts entrepreneurs that have never owned a business out there, get in the trenches, roll up your sleeves, go and buy that business, start that business, invest that money. Go and do something, even if it's small. But be an entrepreneur. I encourage it. It's worth it. It's hard, but it's worth it. This is Lars Lofty Loftstrand signing off from Cadillac Confidential.